Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It is May, y'all. Okay. So, I'm trying a bit of a different filming angle this time. I've ordered some new equipment, so hopefully it'll be better. And I'm just going to continue to film in my room instead of in the basement because that setup has not been reconfigured. So I chose to do teal this month. So here I'm just doing some pen testing, figuring out what the vibe is going to be, and I was totally inspired by a book. I gotta be honest, I spent a lot of time in Barnes & Noble, and I love stationery, so why not use a book as inspiration, you know? So, I am not an artist. Let's say I am an artist, but I'm not a good artist, okay? So, for me to do this, I kind of mapped it out in pencil, which I don't typically do anymore. But I knew if I wanted the calendar to look like an open book that was sitting on a table, I had to kind of like figure out how that would look. And a lot of it is like angles, etc. So, making sure that, it looks kind of realistic. Obviously, it doesn't look real. But when a book's sitting on a table, you have like both sides. You can kind of see the pages fanned out as long as you're kind of in the middle of the book. And then you have like the pages kind of curve over at the top. And I definitely didn't execute this. I essentially had a hard time because I was using a ruler to do the straight lines. And I feel like maybe it would have been better if I just like free drew everything, because then the connection between the straight lines and the curved lines going towards the middle of the spine of the book would have been more uniform. But again, you learn as you go. So this part took quite a while. So we can just kind of speed through this part. But essentially, yeah, so that's what I did. I drew the lines and then I kind of drew the curved part. And I did that on the top and bottom. And then as I filled in the lines on the sides and on the bottom, I drew, auxiliary curved lines as well. One thing I didn't think about when I first started was that maybe it would be better to be able to see where I was drawing the lines. And also with the book, the lines are so fine because the pages are so thin and they sit on top of each other. But I still wanted you to kind of be able to see the distinction between the lines. So I switched from the other ruler that I was using, that I actually got in a Barnes & Noble pencil pouch kind of kit thing that came with stickers a few years ago, to my favorite ruler from Michaels, the 18-inch grid ruler. So as you can see here, the line spacing is not quite even, but I did the best that I could, What am I, British? And one of the things I have to say is, honestly, having fun with this is the most important part. So it was kind of nice to be able to laugh at myself during this process, because it was definitely a learning curve for me. So all good stuff. So here you can kind of see what I was doing with the bottom of the book. And with the curvatures there. Yeah. Okay, so I have to be honest. This is filmed on 2 different days. And the second day I was like, what if I did the angle like kind of from the side? And it was like, I don't know. I was trying to be creative, but the execution wasn't top notch. So essentially, I had the like tripod thing that I've been using to the side. I thought you would get a better view of what I was doing. Again, I have new equipment coming. I mentioned that at the beginning of the video. So essentially, I did the outline of my book the first day. And then the second day, I did all the detail work. So I just did my dots for my calendar. I totally didn't plan it out well, which is so 100% real and real life. I miscalculated the calendar. And so because I was filming this after May 2nd, I actually don't have a box for May 1st or May 2nd on this calendar because I would have had to put it on the top right or shift the entire calendar down. And I decided I didn't want to do that. So essentially I used a mix of the colors I showed at the beginning. I kind of was just playing around with it. I used the Crayola, oh my God, the name is escaping me right now. It's the glitter. It's not called a super tip. Anyway, so I used, I'll write everything down below. So I used that for the title, and the day of the month. And then I went through and did the titles for the rest of my spreads. So just one thing to be careful of. This is obviously like a glitter marker, so you have to wait to make sure that it's dry. It has a pretty quick dry time, so it's not like you're going to be here all day. I feel like this was very fun and artsy for me in a way that I haven't done in a while, so it was kind of nice for me to have fun with this. And as you can see here, my horrible doodling drawing skills. I just did a stack of books, and yeah, we'll fast forward through that. So I had to switch to my baby metal ruler to kind of fit in that space, but I drew like little lines on the sides of the books so they were more realistic. So for this theme overall, I was inspired by the book I was reading at the time, which has this like beautiful teal cover. And I was thinking, okay, like what are all the things that are kind of book related? So to-dos, it's always a long list. Okay, I have a huge stack of books. I kind of was like relating it that together, and I was like, oh, what about a library card? So for my personal care page, I did a teal library card for over there. And it just says library card, and it has like my name underneath it. These I did the library card I did hand draw, and I used the gray Tombow to kind of do a little baby drop shadow, and I kind of just honestly had fun with it. But there's something beautiful about all of those lines like that and trying to make them perfect, and they overlap slightly. Oh, so good. So, yeah, I don't really have much more to say about that, but I'm excited to talk about the next spread. So I was like, okay, we know I love Barnes & Noble. All right, so finance, receipt. So a receipt from Barnes & Noble, I thought that was genius, okay? So I have a receipt from Barnes & Noble. It just says book 1, book 2, book 3. A chai latte and a cookie, because that's my treat when I go to Barnes & Noble. I don't know about y'all, but I am excited for things to open up a bit again. Obviously, I'm going to be super cautious, but there is just a vibe sitting at a cafe. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Enjoy this very slow flip through.